got a fresh show. We got the fresh crew. In the middle is Muchella, who hang with the fellas. On the end over there is that superstar J Mo. Y'all know him as Rojas on Power Book for a Force. How y'all doing tonight?
Hey, what's up?
I'm all right. I'm in the middle. I'm all right.
You like that, don't you, Muchella?
Yeah.
Being sandwiched up on you like you an Oreo double stuffed or something, huh?
All right, we got a Muchella sandwich on the menu now.
That's right, man. A Moochie sandwich.
That sound real.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are here to break a little entertainment bread with y'all to talk about this new show that J-Mo and Muchella put me on to called Own the City. This is episode number 2. Man, if you was a fan of The Wire, this might scratch that itch a little bit. Just a little bit. Stories unfolding, and I'm anxious to hear what my fellow reviewers have to say. And Jay, I'll start with you first. Talk to me about how you like episode 2 and what has stood out to you about this new show so far.
I like how it's kind of current, and it's about after what happened with Freddie Gray, and that although it is something that's happened more recently, that a lot of the problems ain't changed. And, you know, like they said, even in this episode, they can't help themselves. And the corruption, even when they got an eye on them, they still can't stop but acting up. And you know, it's messed up that a lot of this basically comes from police being underpaid. Because even when he was being trained, he like, well, the only way we gonna make money is overtime. And so we got to do this, we got to do that in order to get overtime and this and that. And so by the cops not getting paid enough, they justify going down this list of bad solutions, basically. So it's kind of crazy, man, how it all happens, and it ain't good for nobody.
Fact. Well said, Jay. Big time. Muchella, who hang with the fellas, how you feeling about this show so far?
I'm liking it because for the simple fact is everybody yearned for seeing the characters that were on The Wire, but we're seeing them in different points of views now as far as being good guys, some of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like you had Pooh, he's a cop, the guy that played Pooh, and that was just something for me to see. We see the guy that played Marlo, he's a cop.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna see them at a different. We're not gonna see them as like the hood dudes on the corner. We're gonna see them as a police officer doing their work, and they seem like they're good cops. The two that I mentioned. I like the fact that it's based off of a true story.
Right.
What else do I like? I just want to see where the story goes because it's like half of the department is dirty.
More than half, damn near. It's like it's baked into the whole way they police is dirty.
Exactly.
And the thing is, J-Mo made a point about the money. But, you know, what do the same people, Jay, that would tell you, and I'm just going to call them out. The same idiots that would tell you take a job not for the money, but for the passion, are the same ones that are telling police to do that. And half of the time, them the same ones that go vote for the people saying that bull job, J-Mo. And so at the end of the day, a lot of what you said about they need to be paid more, I've been saying that. There's a lot of fields that need to get paid more. But somehow, somewhere along this road, the same people that always vote Blue Lives Matter are also not understanding that they're voting saying, I don't want government in my life, and I'm not voting to fund government. But yet you want to run around here and talk about how underpaid your asses is. And in any event, Jay, it don't matter if you underpaid. When you sign up for a job, you're supposed to be signing up for what the job entails, and you're supposed to do right. And you're not asking these cops, Jay, you're not asking these cops to do anything extra. You're just asking them to treat people with decency.
Right.
And what do we see on this show? We've got the GTTF, the Gun Task Force, whatever the name it is. You got them.
Right.
You got homicide. You got narcotics. And all of them are tied to that GTTF that led to not only the Justice Department coming in, but the feds coming in to investigate just how crummy this damn police department is. And people, if you haven't seen episode 2, we about to spoil the hell out of it for you. In this episode, they trace a cat named Aaron Anderson. He's a drug dealer. They're tracking him, and this brother gets tracked by the narcotics unit, and then he gets tracked by low-life, crooked cops. Having said that, J-Mo, pick up on the rest of that crooked cop story. And let me say this, Jay. Anytime you have a show where one of the characters' name is Gmoney, you know his ass gonna be crooked in New Jack City.
right. Gondo. Yeah, man, it's just crazy that instead of and he actually grew up with that dude, and instead of, being a straight up with him as a cop, he's pretending he's straight up with him, but he ends up robbing him by putting a tracker on the car. They have these trackers on people's cars, not so that they could get them building a case, so they could end up robbing them. Because, if you rob the drug dealer, it's nothing they could say or do. And that was real dirty. And then they thought that nobody was there, and his woman was there, and they had guns to her head and everything. And I mean, I know that just got to be horrible as a woman to have, guys break in with guns to your head ready to rob you for what your man is doing. And next thing you know, he had to be in the Red Roof Inn. And what's crazy is they found that tracker later, the other task force, but it's nothing they can really do about it if they don't try to come and collect it or say nothing about it. So it was just so much stuff. Sometimes they end up finding out stuff, just like when Roller was in there talking and he was saying how Internal Affairs found out this or didn't do that. And then when they did find out stuff, all they did was suspend them with pay for a year. Like, what kind of...
2 years.
2 years. You get suspended 2 years with pay. That's a vacation. What the hell kind of punishment is that? You ain't got to go to work for 2 years, but we pay you. Go ahead, Moochie. I don't want to say everything.
Jay, ain't that just like the way they punish the NFL owners? When you go and you assault women, you do racist shit, and they take the team from you. Your punishment is they take the team from you, and you get paid quadruple what you spent for the team in the first damn place. Wow, what a punishment!
And that
jump in there, Moochie.
Yeah, really.
With this whole thing, once Jamel started talking. It was like he was dropping pennies, nickels, quarters, dimes. I'm already caught.
Boy.
It's a done deal. I passed him in the hallway. I'm not even going to say anything to Wayne. And I'm going to keep it moving. And please keep Wayne away from me.
Yeah.
By the way, Moochie, Wayne Jenkins, John Barenthal, he playing the hell out of Wayne Jenkins.
Yes.
Yeah, he is.
Yes.
Excellent.
When I tell you this man is playing the hell out of a Wayne, when you see him, you think country ass Wayne Jenkins that might have a Confederate flag tattooed on his ass. That's what you think when you see this brother acting. He is killing it.
But one thing I do like is that they cut in between his beginning to where he is now. Like, he tried to start off right, but old boy trained him wrong from the get-go, said, forget all that. And then he was telling him about that overtime, and then when he asked him later, he like, so what we gonna do? We taking them all. He like, yeah, you learned. You know what I mean? So it didn't take him long to get corrupt. But,
Jay, wasn't that so crooked? It's like, come on, man. It's just so corrupt. Yep. I mean... When people have our conspiracy theories about anything dealing with government, police officers, we have those conspiracy theories because we know that the people working these jobs are just as human as me and you.
Right.
And the same temptations that bother us bothers them even worse because they sitting at the seat of power. They sitting at the seat of power. So you think it bothers us, the little shit that go on in our life, imagine what it's doing to them. And do you think that the majority of these people have any kind of compunction to do the right thing? Fuck no.
Let me ask y'all this. What do y'all think about when he said, if we take them in for the night, then they won't shoot nobody or get shot, so we doing our job? What do y'all think?
That's just a cop-out.
Cop-out. Because at the end of the day, if you go to a trailer park and say the same thing, you know what the first thing gonna come out their mouth, J-Mo? Freedom. I want the freedom to sit out here and be shot, damn it. I don't want no cop. I don't want no government telling me that I can't sit outside. If I'm gonna get shot, it's my choice. I want freedom. That's what I say. In my Wayne Jenkins voice.
You did it good. You did that pretty good.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, I done had to grow up around some of them. I debate them all the time. I live in a county that's full of them, and I have to debate them and let them know what the truth is so much. So, you know, it's real simple. But then ladies and gentlemen, not only do we have the GTTF, we've got homicide, we got feds. We've got my man Sean Suter, who done got drugged into this whole thing. Now, Moochie and Jay, and Moochie, I'm going to come to you. Did you notice the scar on this brother's face after he said he got fired chilling? What you think he been up to, Moochie?
I feel like he might have been running with them in the beginning, but he probably was like, nah, I ain't going to do this forever now. Some people have a cutoff point where, look, I'm going to get about this much up, and then I'm done with this.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
some people know when to walk away from stuff.
Yeah, because he probably didn't have a choice when he got placed with them, and when he saw it, he like, oh, I gotta go along because I'm here, but I'm getting the hell out of here.
But did y'all see how they showed other people that didn't want to get with the program and where they went?
Yeah, sent them off to pasture.
He was like, I didn't want to do none of this, so this is why I'm here. Like I'm put out to pasture.
Oh, here we go. The one that's talking to Mrs. Steele. Yeah,
Bellata.
Get my book.
Yeah. Man, she's doing a great job being an attorney for the Justice Department. She's doing a hell of a job. And did y'all notice, why is every show nowadays got rappers rapping about what the hell going on in the streets? You know why? Because it's real life. It's real life. Rappers been doing this for years. And even in this show, J-Mo, we got another rapper that is spilling the beans about a crooked ass cop that they just won't do nothing to. And I'm going to give the floor to you to talk about Mr. Herzl, who winds up meeting Attorney Steele. Talk about Mr. Herzl, Jay, because this dude, he the worst.
Yeah, I like how he tried to do that power move with her when he sucked on that chicken bone with them nasty ass fingers and then shook her hand with it. He tried to turn off. A woman don't want to touch your nasty ass sucked on fingers. And he like that was gonna make her run away, but she shook his hand, then took that wet wipe. She took that wet wipe like, nah, I'm about to take that wet wipe. Moochie, you on mute. But yeah, Moochie.
I'm not shaking his hand. I would have gave him a fist bump.
You don't want no chicken grease.
That was strategic on Nicole's part. She gotta let him know whatever you do ain't gonna intimidate me.
Right.
Yeah, that's why he was so short with her.
Yeah, because he saw it wasn't gonna work. She wasn't gonna be. Ew.
She wasn't gonna be intimidated.
Right.
And she's probably seen worse than that because remember, she's been going from different states doing these investigations.
Yeah. So he tried to be short with her when he saw it. That was his little test to see, and he saw that it might be a little different with her. Plus, she black, and he pretty much doing that to all black people. So, just like when he went through that man's wallet and threw all his IDs on the floor in front of his kid. You know what I mean? Like, damn. And then talking about where you live and this and that, then let him go anyway. But the one thing that I don't like, and
I was pissed off at that part when he when he did, and that was Slim. That was from The Wire. He was a working man. He did it in front of his son. It was just messed up.
Yeah, it was. But one thing that they show, and this does happen, is I don't like when people call the police bro. Like when the police rolled up on the 3 dudes selling weed. Come on, bro. What you doing, bro? They ain't your bro. Like, I would never call police bro, man. Fork that. And I wouldn't say more than I need to. I ain't gonna be saying nothing extra. I don't have no conversations. Whatever question you ask, that's it and nothing more. You know what I mean? And you got nothing else to say.
I'm gonna say something that stood out to me too. Now I know this series is about the heart of Baltimore, but it seems like the majority of everything you see getting locked up, going to jail, is black men. Just black men, not black women, not black Hispanic women, just black men. And I'm sitting here pulling my hair out because we are not the epicenter of crime.
But that's just the reason why, though. You know why that happens? Because the black man is the head of the black household. If you take the black man out of the household, if he got kids, now you got a bunch of single mothers with a bunch of kids with no father figure. You got men that can't be employed because they got felonies or too many run-ins with the law. You put the fear in the black man of the white man or the cop, because most of these cops are the white man or acting as if. And so it's like breaking down a community. And so it works, man. And I hate to say it, but you know how many people can't vote or have felonies that they got when they were young, and now that follows them the rest of their life, where they can't go and get a, college degree because you can't get student loans if you got a felony. You can't get certain jobs, all kind of things, It's a lot of this stuff over weed charges and things like, now it's legal, and who owns all the weed businesses and weed shops now?
People.
And so
that was my point, Jay.
That was all orchestrated, though, but that's another topic in itself.
Right. It just frustrates me to no end that while we've got a show that's depicting, and hoping to change people's minds about the way the police system is crooked, because we've been saying it for years, but, it takes more than us to get the thing to reverse. They've got a show that's been running like 25 years, as long as I've been living, called American Greed, that shows you white-collar crime at its best. That in most cases...
It hurts more people.
Right. It's more detrimental to society than what you see right here. And those fuckers might not even go to jail. They might get probation and have to pay a fine. Yep. And then after they pay the fine, they just go get the money that they pilloried from everybody's society, from the Cayman Islands, and go right back to doing the same shit they do. And we're not doing enough to villainize them.
That's true.
All I'm saying. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. We need to villainize them as hard as we've gotten to this point where we've got people thinking that the epicenter of violence is the African-American male. And just because you carry a beer bottle, you drink beer, doesn't make you more dangerous than that man that's pushing keyboard buttons, siphoning and running Ponzi schemes to the tune of millions and billions of dollars. That man is definitely worse. And we need to start painting the picture that is worse.
Yeah, they make the picture of Saggy Jeans is scarier than the suit. So
Right.
That dude in the suit is hurting thousands of people or more. And that person with the jeans, one or two, a couple? So.
Right. First of 3 Cooks, it comes on HBO, and it comes on every Monday at 9 p.m. There are 2 episodes in, and they got 4 more to go. And I got to ask you and Moochie, man, I got to ask y'all, which one is worse? Which one of these 2 bums is worse? Herzl or Wayne Jenkins? Moochie, take your swing.
I feel like Wayne Jenkins is the worst because he's training the new guys.
Herzl is too.
He's training the new guys the way, like, he got trained that way he got trained that way
Right.
by Barber.
Yeah.
And he's just passing it along. And I know how that goes with certain jobs. Like, I know what my job is. Like, look, they'll tell you this, but you got to write it up this way.
Mm-hmm.
Or, you know, it's just certain things they do with the job. And I get that you always gonna be, when you're a rookie, you're gonna be taken under the wing by a vet where they show you the job and they say, well, you know, all of that you learned in the academy, some of that don't fly here.
Yeah.
Okay. This is how we're gonna do things. This is how you're gonna do things now from this moment on.
That's a good point.
As far as Herzl, and then I don't know if I pronounced his name right. He's basically, to me, a lone wolf. Even his partner not rocking with him. When he beat that guy up, he was like, look, I don't want no parts of this. I'm calling the ambulance. You're not going to have me dragged downtown with this nonsense. And he called the ambulance.
Okay.
That's a good point.
What you got, Jay?
I think they are the same, but Moochie made a good point. Herzl don't seem to be charismatic and have followers or people he rolling with, whereas Wayne is charismatic and has people he's training and people that he was working with that are robbing and stealing with him. Now, maybe because Herzl is just a regular detective, maybe he only got one person he gonna ride with, and that dude is black, so I don't know. We don't know a lot about Herzl too much just yet. We know he gonna have problems, but we don't. The rapper did say he steal, but
he did.
Yeah, but a lot of cops will steal from a young black man with cash in his pocket. Cops have stolen from me cash before out of my pocket in Chicago. So that is something that is not really far-fetched or hard to believe. Now, when we saw in the first episode, when he stared in that closet, how much money? I know it had to be money. We never saw what it was, but I'm pretty sure it was money. We saw the guns and stuff. So that's different if you taking $100,000 or $50,000 of drug money. You know what I mean? Or like Rolla, he took that dude's mortgage equity. Refi equity, which wasn't but $11,000. That was dirty. And
you ain't lying.
Yeah,
but that came back and bit him in the tail too. That's what got him the 2-year suspension.
But it really that was a blessing.
Back with all the receipts.
He did, but
he had to come down there with all the receipts showing that this money came from a refi.
Right.
Because I think he refinanced his house or something, and that's what it was.
Right. But, I mean, in the end, he still got paid for 2 years and came back to work.
Mm-hmm.
So...
And then when he came back, they put him with the dirtiest unit.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So he like, man, what? And then y'all talking about... So they didn't teach him nothing.
They was like, all right, we're going to put you with the dinner thieves now.
Right. You would have thought that was a setup. How crazy that was. If I was him, I would have thought it was a setup at first.
Now we got some more people in this series that are making waves, that made waves in episode 2. Let me get on down here to this crew of people.
While you pull that up, let me say one thing quick. Did somebody say Herzl beat up a black boy? I don't remember that part, but I do remember.
He did.
Okay.
He beat up the.
I remember.
He was talking to Nicole Steele, and he had the gash in his face.
Right.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Yeah. So we've got the new Crockett and Tubbs. We got my man Trey Chaney, and then we've got
Midget
David
Master.
Nart. David, he's with the Nart unit. Now, the question I have to both of you guys is, can we trust these two?
Yes.
Okay.
Little show.
I feel like they are by the book, and that's what I like, the fact that they are by the book. They found the tracker, but they didn't want to step on nobody's toes because they said, well, whoever it is, they're going to come back for it. And I like the fact that they did that. They wasn't really trying to tell, but once they went in there and they saw that the door was already hit, and somebody was already through this and ransacked the place and took whatever was there, somebody's doing their job.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it's funny you show that Carriage House. When I saw that, I thought it's an apartment in every hood named Carriage House. It's a Carriage House now. What's up with that?
Look, even in little Greenville, North Carolina,
they got a Carriage House apartment in the hood.
Got a Carriage House. Even in Greensboro, North Carolina, they got a Carriage House. Like damn, is there any carriage houses in the upper Midwest and the middle income places? Damn.
Right.
There's a retirement home called Carriage House too.
Wow. I didn't see one in Chicago, but every other state that I've been in, Indiana, Ohio, and Florida, and some other places, I've seen a carriage house. And I'm like, but you know where they used to keep the people that lived in the carriage house.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you had to sleep with the horses and stuff.
Right.
Some of the folks.
That's why they call it the Carriage House.
Right.
So what the heck? They treating us like cattle?
You was cattle. You was property.
You was cattle. You was property. but sometimes the slave master would come out and put his penis inside his property. But I mean, other than that, you know, I didn't see too many slave owners putting their penises in cows and horses and shit.
They
going out there to get some dip and some chocolate. That's
chocolate. You can't say
Moochie,
chocolate like that when you talk about this. You make it sound good. You got to say it mean.
I know,
Moochie. Chocolate.
Moochie,
still
some of
ain't
us
made
on
it
the
sound
diet
too
over
good.
here. Now, don't be making us hungry and shit, talking about dipping in chocolate.
I know,
I'll give you
right?
a cavity, you know.
That's why my tooth hurt. Is that why my tooth hurt?
I don't want my insulin high. No.
Boy.
They said he trying to cut back.
I am.
Mm-hmm.
No more sweets. That sweet chocolate got my glucose out of control.
It's spiky insulin too much, man. I can't deal with all that sweet. We got a minute. Go ahead, Jay.
I was just going to say, did you see 12 Years a Slave, Moochie?
Yes.
Yeah, and it's some other movie. What's the movie? I can't remember where they made the dude. I think it's Mandingo. Was it Mandingo? Where they made the man do it to his mama because the mama was big and he was big, and they like, y'all two do it so I can get a big baby. Like that's cattle.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, they was making breeding farms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know about that.
Now, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, Jay and Moochie, if you're finding us for the first time, they also have YouTube channels. Links in the description. They put out great content. They collab. Moochie's a part of about 5 different YouTube group fashions, so check her out.
I don't know about all of that, but I just go where the wind takes me.
Yeah, and J Mo is a professional actor. Got some spots all over the place. He's got one on Power, so you be sure to check him out. And I got a friend who's trying to put together a movie down in Wilmington, North Carolina called Beams of Heaven. She has said that your boy Lamont Tyson is going to have a role in it. So she's trying to raise some funds to get this thing going. So if you feel like throwing a sister a little bit of change, her GoFundMe is in the video description link. Shout out to my North Carolina people. Help this sister get her movie going because it's a struggle getting something to production if you ain't got the ends. And she's got a good story. And I think you guys might be pleasantly surprised, you know. So, and then you'll see your boy in it too. So get ready for that.
Go on and get a little executive producer credit, man.
We'll see. we'll see. We'll see about that. But shout out to her. Her link's in the description. Let's dive right back into this review. So, how is the Justice Department going to take down the GTTF and all the people involved, J-Mo? Is Wayne going to crack? Is somebody going to crack on Wayne? How are they going to take down the Gun Task Force Unit?
Hold on, my Alexa acting up. Alexa!
Uh-oh.
Stop!
Uh-oh.
All right. Alexa always acting up. All right.
Uh-oh. She's mad at me.
I know, right? To be honest, I don't think they could have done anything if Roller didn't start to, sing like a jaybird. He spilled all the beans, as Moochie say, dropping nickels, dimes, quarters, dollars, C notes, $2 bills, He done told everything. You see what I'm saying?
Everything.
Yeah, and if he didn't do that, then they would have had nothing. But in his mind, he's like, look, they got us. I might as well speak so I can get a deal instead of going to trial and then going to jail. And as a cop, that's the last thing you want to do is go to jail, especially if you know you a dirty cop and you didn't put all these people probably in jail, or they got family members or friends behind bars. And like that one good cop was telling her, we have done so many people wrong that now it's even hard to get a jury to come because they know that the cops are liars and thieves and everything. So nobody wants to be bothered or believe a cop. So they like ruin the city. So he definitely don't want to go to jail. So I think he had to look at it seriously, like either try to hold this blue line and maybe get suspended again or just fired, or I could go to, if at worst jail, or speak up and maybe just get fired and, probation. I don't know.
Gotcha. Moochie, let me swing it like this to you.
I feel like Mondo said everything off.
Talking
what
on the
about
phone.
this guy, Moochie?
Oh, that's the guys whose house they raided.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Aaron Anderson, and they was able to connect him to Strapshire and Mondo. And that's how they was able to put Strapshire and Mondo together, because they got the phone records right here based on them following Aaron Anderson.
Is it a Mondo and a Gondo?
Look, I don't even know who I'm talking to.
Yeah, y'all talking, Gmoney.
Right.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't even know who I'm talking to. If they got that tracker thing on your car, then that means they following you, but I don't even know who I'm talking to.
Hey, on the side note, that was smart. I didn't know they can't track FaceTime calls. He should have talked only on FaceTime after that.
I thought y'all knew that.
I didn't know that.
You remember the Trump administration took Apple to court because they wanted to get FaceTime records, and the Supreme Court slapped it down and said no.
They also wanted to be able to break the code and open people's phone too.
And they said no. They said no. So, yeah. So, fellas, me and Jay ain't trying to tell you how to cheat on your girlfriends and spouses and things like that.
Look at Moochie.
If you really want to make sure that you ain't getting in no trouble, and Moochie, I own a Galaxy, so I ain't even got nothing to worry about. I can't do no talking because I'm going to just get in trouble, okay? I'm saying to people that got Apple, if you need to keep things private, okay? If you need to keep it private, do what they did on this show. That's it. I ain't got no Apple phone, Moochie. I got a Galaxy 22. So you ain't got to worry about nothing. No matter what I do, I'm going to get caught on everything. So we ain't got no privacy apps on my phone.
I keep that Galaxy far, far away. That's the Star Wars for y'all that didn't know.
No, but I feel like Jamel just basically, once he got knocked, the first dude, Mondo, what is it? Is it
Gondo? Gmoney.
Gmoney, yeah, but he got some kind of African name, last name.
Mamadou Gondo. Gondo. That's why they call him G. No, it's a Gondo. That's why they say G Money.
They pulled him in next. They pulled him in as well as Wayne Jenkins in the same day, it looked like. Because you saw them passing each other in the hallway. He like, don't say nothing.
Yep.
That's the only problem I actually have with this show, is that they are flipping back and forth too much. And they show when they go back, but they don't show when they come back up to the current time and separate it that easy. So whenever they going back to Wayne, they like typing up the report and it say the year.
Yeah, and that's when they doing the flashback.
Yeah, but
you see the year at the bottom and the year at the bottom and the date and all of that on the run sheet.
Yeah.
Right. It makes it difficult, Jay. You got to pay attention with this show. It ain't one of the shows where you can take your eyes off the screen for like 2 minutes.
And you hear shooting and then you all caught up. No, it's not like that.
And And honestly, that's what we're here to do, because I've heard some people say that was their complaint, Jay, because the show will go from Wayne, it'll go to Homicide Suitor Dude, it'll go to his story, then it'll go back to Gmoney's story, then you got Nicole Steele's story. So people have just been trying to struggle. How does all this weave together? All you got to know is GTTF, the Gun Task Force, whatever the hell unit.
Gun Trace Task Force, yeah.
Yep. And then you've got Nicole Steele. She's there with the Justice Department and the feds investigating not only the Baltimore Police Department, but all the units underneath that, which would be the GTTF and narcotics. And then you got the new Crockett and Tubbs, Brian the cop, working together as non-crooked cops. That's the weed. That's how you put the whole thing together.
Right.
And having said that, Moochie, what are you expecting to happen in this coming episode, considering what we just seen? And now your boy Suitor, I think he's legitimately clean at this point. What are they going to do with his character?
Maybe they're going to find out why he left.
Okay.
Because now he's basically one of those people that's got all their time in and is just waiting to finish up that last bit of time and retire. So he already said as soon as Wayne came in there with the guns saying, look, you can match some of these guns to some of those murders you got.
Uh-oh.
And he like, I only got this amount of time and I'm done with this.
I can't
plan on
blame
retiring because he got the time too, but he's like, never, because he's like, the extra money he getting.
Plus he a little celebrity.
Right. He power drunk, Jay.
Yeah.
He enjoying that power.
Even when they caught him, he talking about, you know who I am.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It seemed like they was glad they got him too, because the silence was golden when he walked in there. They was like,
oh my Lord.
When they got him.
Whoa. That scene when he was sitting in jail, that was some damn good acting without speaking. He was making faces and she was. Boy.
But he seemed like he on something too, though.
You think he on something?
He on that. He seemed like he on the sugar booger.
They ain't showed it, Moochie. They ain't showed it. They ain't showed it.
Booger sugar. It was funny when you said sugar booger.
That's your line.
It's all right. It was funny when you made me laugh.
So Jay, now I got to come to you with another character breakdown. So we've also seen where a lot of what goes on in the police department, unfortunately, is not done because they're trying to actually fight crime. It's not done because they're actually trying to protect the citizens. It's done because certain politicians need to have things look a certain way so that they can escalate their fucking careers. Having said that, Jay, look at this guy, the new police commissioner. Can we trust him? Why was he looking at Wayne a certain way when they apprehended Wayne? Talk to me about this commissioner, Jay. Kevin Davis is his name.
Mm-hmm. He wanted to basically look him in his eye and see if he was really guilty of what he said. We saw in this second episode, he kind of got off on the wrong foot with him when he was in his meeting and had that little outburst because he was trying to be discreet about who was in trouble. And he bust out and said the officer's name. And so he wanted to talk to him afterwards. And he started to see this dude kind of moves to the beat of his own drum. And although he said all the right things there, it kind of put him on his radar. And so, now with all the complaints, like even when Hippolyta was asking him about what's going on, he was saying, well, these cops at least get out their cars and make arrests. So, yeah, they may have complaints and other things on their record, but they also are making arrests and doing their job too. And they don't have a lot of cops doing that. So it's like, because of what happened with Freddie Gray, the cops are upset, and it's kind of like they trying to punish the city for not having their back in a way. So they like, well, we aren't going to police as hard then, since you got a problem with our policing. And they kind of showed that in the first episode when those cops was getting filmed by that crowd, and they just walked away like, forget it, police yourselves. So, you know, it is a very good portrayal of how they are showing this. Somebody said in the comments, this is poorly produced. I think it's actually excellently produced. You have to pay attention. It's got a lot of information, and they only have 1 hour to give it to you. And by the time you get to the end of the 6 episodes, you will have the complete picture of all these characters. But, right. You know what I mean? But they can't go one complete episode only talking about Wayne. Then the second episode only talking about Herzl. Third episode, you see what I'm saying? So they have to go a little bit here and there so that we can get the whole story piece by piece as it goes. So, yeah, I think it's actually very well done. And then they show a lot of little things like, what's old boy from The Wire that's the cop now? What's his name again with the scar?
That is Steele.
Suter. Yeah. So that was his first murder investigation by himself. Because, and they dropped him off with a guy that got killed in the alley. And then he was talking to dude, trying to get information. They bonded over the 9.6 Impala, the 95 Impala or whatever.
Oh, and that was actual true, too, because I used to have an Impala. That was true.
Them boys was nice. That's before they made them into their regular cars. You know, that had the 5.7 liter engine, the Corvette engine.
Corvette.
Oh, yeah. Them boys was nice.
I had the green joint.
I remember the green one, You had the digital dash or the
Yes, I had the digital dash, man.
Yeah.
It was like riding inside of a whale.
Yeah.
Like you could take a steering wheel and put it in a whale.
Yeah.
Boom. Boy.
Right. Yeah, they were more similar to Caprice Classic back then. But supercharged and sporty. You know, they weren't as bubbly as the Bubbles though, you know, but they was, road similar. But he almost messed it up because he told him about put that bottle in the bag or whatever, which almost made dude like, man, you can't even help yourself. You trying to be nice and trying to get info, but then you almost turned into an asshole over here and made me not want to talk to you. So, it's just, they got a lot to deal with. It's unfortunate for everybody involved. I don't see nobody as a winner. And, it's just a lot going on. And I think it's really a good show so far. I like it. I'm already upset it's only 6 episodes and we only saw 2.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I was gonna say Miss Mina DeLeo, she wrote in the chat, I remember these stories from people getting locked up for no reason and coming right home. West Baltimore has the dirtiest cops.
Yeah. They showed that in this second episode too, about the overtime, and people, they basically knew they was coming right home. When they had that room with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I would agree with that.
I think The Wire kind of touched on it, but they didn't dig deep. Because remember, they was talking. They didn't show them being real dirty like that. The cops, though, they only showed like a couple of things, and that wasn't until maybe the 4th season they showed the beat cop that was doing crazy stuff to the young kids.
This is more of a cop show. Whereas The Wire was more about the drug dealers.
Yeah, but
the cops had a big role.
It did dig into the cops' lives too, though.
Right.
So you got to know them on a personal level. So I'm hoping we see that too, because we saw how Wayne at first was trying to be a good cop, but then they showing you how much stuff they was buying with the money from people that they shook down. Where he's like, well, I gotta be down with this in order to fit in.
Louisiana boy said, where would you classify John Bernthal? That's Wayne. A good, bad, or neutral character? That's a good one.
I wanna say he's a bad character.
Yeah, he's a bad
He's
character.
like a monster in this.
Yeah, he a bad cop.
Yeah.
He's not as bad as Hirsch
They bad in different ways.
Yeah, they're
Exactly.
bad in different
Yeah.
ways. You're right.
Yeah. They
But
both are bad, but
I
Herschel
feel
will
like
beat
he's
your
bad
ass.
because he's training new cops this.
Yeah.
Like the Asian dude was like, I don't even want no parts of this. This is not the job I signed up for. And he went on to become an instructor after that. Did y'all notice that?
Yeah.
Saw that. Yeah.
What did you
Saw
think
that.
when in the first episode when Wayne bust that black dude's 40?
I thought that was real messed up. I was like, he's an idiot.
But you know what?
That was better than giving me a ticket for it though.
Yeah,
Right, I was gonna
come on
say.
now.
And he did better than what Herschel would have done to somebody.
He
That's
had
true.
it in a brown paper bag.
Still
So you still messed with him.
can't be caught walking down the street drinking a 40, can you? I don't know.
And
Some
in
cities
downtown
maybe.
Greensboro, they letting you do it. But guess what resides in downtown Greensboro?
I already know. Not people that look like old man, huh?
Exactly.
Right.
Which pulls. It bothers me when I see these hypocrisies in
It's
society.
a double standard.
Right. Because on one hand you're saying, and I'm just talking about my local community in Greensboro. On one hand, you was complaining about the black clubs in the same area attracting too much attention, having shootouts and all that, because people are coming out under substances, people are angry, all that. Okay. So you get rid of the clubs that was in the downtown area. Now it's just all pretty much saltine colonizers, right? They just passed a bill that allows them to freely drink walking around the downtown district.
They got something
if-
like that in this little Broad Ripple area here, which is a bunch of bars for the same
Right.
people. Yeah.
As if them people are any less violent, are any less affected by controlled substances that they put into their body, but it's acceptable for them and not for us.
Let me ask you this: is it? I don't know the statistics, but do these clubs have the same amount of shootings or stabbings as black clubs?
If they do, they would pad the report.
They have fights. I don't know about shootings and stabbings, but they do have fights. I haven't seen anything about stabbings or shootings or anything like that. Nor have we haven't had any shootings for black clubs this year. Period.
That's really good. It's
That
already
is.
yeah.
You all the way into May.
Yeah, I know, right? You in the second
Right.
quarter of the year. That's real good.
Yeah.
So,
So I mean,
New York is
You
like
know,
the
Pat-
Wild West right now.
oh
Man,
Lord,
Kelly
have
was
mercy.
saying New York is getting
The
bad.
trains and all of that.
Yeah, we heard about that one.
So give us
Yeah.
give us your final prediction, Moochie, and then Jay, then we'll get out of here.
My final prediction for this so far, I feel like Jamel basically set the groundwork and they're going to pull more people in. Now, I want to know how much stuff is Sean going to tell, because he knows some things too. And is he going to be roped in a good way or roped in a bad way where he might go down with them?
That's a good point.
He gonna drop
point.
dimes because he don't.
Oh, of course he's gonna drop down, but I don't want him to get in trouble.
I don't think
That
he
man
will.
just said he got 5 kids.
Right, I got
got
5
5
mouths to feed, boy. Hey, for real, he is not about to play.
Nah.
I think what hurt him is that he was talking to Gmoney, Gondo, in that garage, and that other cop heard him, and he was talking about he getting money and this and that, and y'all ain't getting money, and the da. And so I think that they was talking about, who you say that new white car and black cop is?
That's Crockett and Tubbs.
Crockett
That's
and
the new Miami
Tubbs.
Vice.
Yeah, I think Crockett and Tubbs got wind of that info from that dude, and so they knew that he knows something, and he knew about, Gmoney, and he used to work with them. So I think he'll get roped in that way. As far as how this is going to go, man, even if they take all of these officers off the street, like the trainers are still going to teach the same stuff. Even when Roller, what's his name? Moochie? Jamel. You're on mute, Moochie. But
you off. Jamel. His name is Jamel.
You ain't want me to hear that little chocolate sweet voice, huh?
No.
Why you was talking? Because I was tempted to. But anyway, go ahead.
All right.
Oh boy.
So, Roller, he even said, like, the lieutenants, they be wanting it more because they don't get overtime for them reports.
Right, and he's down with it too, so he's gonna get dragged in too.
Right. And you saw, like, the lieutenant, he tried to come like he was mad or hard, but he was playing with Gondo and all that at first, and they all buddy. And I know how it is in the sense I've never been a cop, but like working at some jobs, the supervisors would be giving tips on what, spots, you can get some merch or whatever. And when the people would get the merch, then they'd split it with the supervisors. So,
I'm not surprised by that.
Yeah, definitely. Or, if they get stuff, they'll tell the supervisor, like, hey, I got this and that. You want one? They'd be like, yeah, hook it up.
I want to know if we're going to see Ed Barber again, too, because that dude sound like a homeboy the way he was talking. That his sergeant that trained Wayne Jenkins.
Yeah. He did. Like I thought he was at first.
I don't know. Look, he sound like a brother. And the other, and as far as the other guy that was Jamel's superior, he was from The Wire, too.
Yeah, see, I'm wondering, because of the little 1% of what I do know about acting, I'm thinking that because they maybe filmed this on location, a lot of these guys are local hires.
Yeah, they sound like they from Baltimore.
Yeah, so they're hiring not only their local hires, but they have experience as well with, The Wire and this type of show. So it was a smart hire and a local hire. So I'm thinking that's how they probably got so many of these guys all at once like this, which is pretty good, and it's been almost 20 years since The Wire, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
That's a long time, man. I was half my age damn near. So
me too.
Yeah, I was a young man.
So I was grown, but I was doing stuff.
Yeah, I was barely grown. I was barely grown.
Y'all making me feel old. My birthday's Saturday.
How old you gonna be?
42.
What? Oh. I thought you was like 38.
I just look good, man. I work out. Gotta keep this chocolate, nice and stable. I can't have wrinkles and stuff like that.
I hear that. Ooh. I feel like I'm getting some wrinkles. I'm getting these lines. I've been laughing too much, smiling too much now.
Well, that's a good thing. That you ain't gotta get that collagen. You
gotta laugh lines.
Yeah, man. You ain't gotta get that collagen.
That stuff to tighten it up.
Uh-oh. Moochie got a solution for everything, Jay. She got a solution for you, my brother, for everything. And ladies and gentlemen, that's it for us. We'll be back next Tuesday for episode 3. Y'all will see me one more time this week, and that'll be Friday night, when as soon as I get out of Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, me and my homeboy are going to get right on the air immediately. Immediately. So, like 11 o'clock Friday night, if you're up, be ready. We're going to tell you all about Marvel Multiverse of Madness, Doctor Strange. Come check us out. But until then, subscribe to Moochie and Jay, and we'll see you next week.
Deuces.